Okay, so to warm up, hopefully you can see my mat. There we go. Now you can plant yourselves on your bum. So if you've done this before, you know what the score is. You can do swivel hips to start off with. So on your bum, hands behind your back. Just make sure your kettlebell's out the way, otherwise you're going to clobber it. Feet flat on the floor. Just drop your knees down to one side. Don't worry about your hip coming up. You're not be able to keep your hips down. And then just keep rotating your legs backwards and forwards. So you should feel it right down kind of side of your hip or down the side of your leg. You might get it, into your lower back a little bit as well if your back's quite tight. And then when you're on that left side, if you just leave your left leg across the front of your mat or whatever you're kind of lying on, and then go into your left side pigeon stretch. So again, you're just getting a little bit more of a stretch on that hip. If you want to put a little bit more weight through it, come up onto your hands and you can just sit down into it. Looks like it's actually stopped raining. And then just roll back onto your bum, back onto those swivel hips again. So again, we'll do about 10 more, but this time you're going to finish on your right side. And then we'll do the right side pigeon stretch. So if you leave that right leg across, stretch that left leg out. Again, if you want to put a little bit more weight through it, just sit up a little bit. Then you can sit down onto the hip. Just try and keep your hips level if you can. Try not to just flop down to one side. And then from there, put two hands down. Bring your foot back. So you're onto all fours. Bloody kettlebell out the way. Toes together, knees out to the side a little bit. You want to sit back onto your heels. And then straight away, you're going to roll forward. And then drop the hips down. And then sit back onto the heels again. And then drop forward. As you drop your hips forward, if you want a little bit more of a kind of a stretch on your abs, you can have a little look up. But just try and keep your shoulders back. Just sink the hips as low as you can. So you should get a nice little stretch on your lower back. And we'll just do one more of those. And then from that kind of seal position, if you curl your toes up, you're then going to do 20 mountain climbers. So your mountain climbers count to 20. It's not like a double count. So one leg will be one rep and the second leg will be a second rep. So you're going to come up into your press up position. Knee into the chest, that'll be one. Knee into the chest, that'll be two. But you're going to go quite quick for 20 reps. So if you count to 20, and then once you've done your 20 mountain climbers, we're going to do that whole thing one more time through. So you're going to go back to the swivel hips. At some point, I'm going to buy a mat that doesn't move about. Then just try and get your knees as low down to the floor as you can. So you're going to lean back a little bit. If you're mega flexible, you keep your both butt cheeks on the floor. I don't know anyone that can do that. And then once you've done roughly about 10, leave your left leg across the front, stretch your right leg out, go into that pigeon stretch. Again, if you want to put a little bit more weight for the hip, if you're quite tight, just sit up. And again, slowly come out of that, and then go straight back into the swivel hips again. So just try and get your knees as close down to the floor as possible. And again, once you've roughly done about 10, you should be on your right side. Leave that right leg across, stretch out with the left leg, and go into your pigeon stretch. Again, if you want to put a little bit more pressure through the hip, get a little bit more of a stretch. just come up onto your hands, but just try and keep your hips flat. So yeah, try not to rock over to one side or roll over to one side. And then place both hands down, bring that right leg back. So knees are underneath your hips. Just bring them out to the side a little bit. Leave your arms out in front. Sit back onto your heels. And then once you sit back, just roll yourself forward into that kind of seal stretch. And then just keep going backwards and forwards. And then we'll just do one more. And then on that last one, curl the toes. Lift your hips up. And then go back into your 20 mountain climbers. Oh, I thought it had stopped raining. It's not at all. It's lashing it down again. Okay. Right, so you work out. I don't think we've done one like this before, actually, think of it. It's an AFAP. So basically, AFAP, as fast as possible. You're going to do a pyramid. So basically, you've got 5 exercises, which we'll go through. Each exercise, your reps are going to increase each time through. So the first round, you're going to do 10 reps. So you do 10 reps of all 5 exercises. Second round, you're going to do 20 reps of all 5 exercises. Third round, you're going to do 30 reps of all the exercises. That's the peak of the pyramid. So the fourth round, you're going to go back to 20 reps. And then the last round, the fifth round, you're going to go back to 10. Okay, so you've got 5 exercises, 10 reps of each, 20 reps of each, 30 reps of each, back to 20, and then back to 10. So you've got your little pyramid. It'll start off okay. It's only when you get to kind of like the 30 reps, it'll get a little bit miserable. Your 5 exercises, most of them are relatively straightforward. The first one's the tricky one, which will take a little bit of explaining. Some of you have probably done it before. You're going to do figure 8s. Okay, I'll demonstrate that in a minute. So your first exercise is figure 8s. You're then going to do air squats, which is basically bodyweight squats. You're then going to do 2-handed swings. Again, I'll go through the swings. You're then going to do reverse lunges, so alternating leg reverse lunges. Again, like the air squats, that's body weight, so you don't need your kettlebell for that. And then your last exercise, you're going to do thrusters. So thrusters is kind of like the horrible one. Just be glad I'm not throwing burpees in. So you've got figure 8s, air squats, 2-handed swings, reverse lunges, and then thrusters. Okay, so for the figure 8s, think of it like a figure 8 going in between your legs. Every time it passes underneath your leg, you want to stand up. You're kind of curling the kettlebell up to your chest and then tapping it with your hand, and then it'll come back around the opposite leg and then curl up. So if I do the first one slow, the easiest way to do it with your kettlebell, it kind of depends a little bit on the size of the handle. Hold on to the corner of the handle, and then when you pass it between your legs, you can grab onto the other corner, so you're not fumbling with your hands. So you'll start upright, hold onto the kettlebell by the corner of the handle. I'll do this first one slowly. Squat down, pass it around the back of the leg and swap hands. As you're standing up, you're going to curl the kettlebell, just catch it at the top, so it's still in your left hand. As you're coming back down, around the back of the right leg, swap it over, and then curl it back up. So when the kettlebell's in your right hand, it goes around the back of the left leg. You swap hands, catch it in front of your chest. Left hand goes around the back of the right leg, and then catch it up. Okay, so at full speed, just watch your knees. Try and make sure you squat down. And then the quicker you stand up, the less you've got to do with your arms and your back. So just quiet snapping, and just make sure you just stop yourself from whacking yourself in the face with the kettlebell. That's what the other hand's for. Okay, so every time you catch it in front, so that'll be 1 rep, back round, that'll be 2 reps, okay? Oh, I'm boiling already. So that's figure 8s. So you'll start with 10 figure 8s. You're then going to do 10 just air squats. If you want to make it a little bit harder, feel free to use the kettlebell. So just 10 bodyweight squats, dead straightforward. If you just try and stand roughly shoulder width apart your feet. As you lower down, just make sure you kind of popping your knees out to the side. So you're creating that hole for your bum to sink into. So you're going to do 10 figure eights, 10 squats. Then you're going to do 10 of your two-handed swings. So again, roughly shoulder width apart with your feet, hinge at the hips. Try and keep your knees still, so you try to limit the amount of rocking in your knees. Grab the kettlebell with two hands, put it back between the legs, and then you're nice and quick driving the hips through. So the quicker you drive the hips through, the less your arms and your shoulders are working. Okay? Let's straightforward on the swings. After you've done the swings, you're then going to do alternating reverse lunges. So again, if you start with your feet roughly kind of hip width, shoulder width apart, you're stepping back. Just make sure when you step back, like I'm not too bad because I've got a line on the mat, make sure you step out to the side a little bit. So you're not crossing, if I do that way around, you can see what I'm doing. You're not crossing your feet over, because then when you try and lunge down, you're going to be all over the place. So if you start roughly hip width apart, step back, so out to the side a little bit, lunge down, and then step back in. So that'll be 1 rep, and then that'll be 2 reps. As you step back, make sure you step back far enough so you're creating this kind of box with your shin and your thigh, and then you're trying to stay upright. So you're not taking a small step and then crouching down. Think about keeping the knee over the front of the foot, over the ankle. And then you want to, if you can get down to the floor, get down to the floor, or just hover like an inch or so above the floor. And then after you reverse lunges, so 1 rep would be 1 leg. When you step back with the opposite leg over 2 reps. Your last exercise is thrusters. So for the thrusters, show you how I'm holding this. You want to hold on to the kettlebell by the ball, thumb and fingers locked around the handle. You've got to squat down. So again, you're trying to get nice and low in the squat. If you're all the way down here, just make sure you've got your elbows on the inside of your knees. As you're standing up, you're shooting the kettlebell up overhead. As it's coming back into the chest, you're dropping back into the squat. So you're pretty much doing a squat and a press put together in one exercise, but there's no pause between the squat and the press. It's just one fluid movement. Oh God, I'm out of breath. Okay, so you're gonna do the figure eights. So 10 figure eights, 10 air squats, so bodyweight squats, 10 two-handed swings, 10 reverse lunges, alternating legs, 10 thrusters. After you've done the 10 thrusters, you've done 1 round. You go back to the figure eights, but you're going to do 20 reps. So you do 20 figure eights, 20 squats, 20 swings, 20 lunges, 20 thrusters. After the 20 thrusters, you're going into 30 reps. And then once you've got through the 30 reps, you're back to 20 and then back to 10. Okay? Not entirely sure how long it's going to take, but we'll see. We've got a little bit of time anyway. I reckon it'll take probably 20 minutes, give or take, if we're flying. So it's figure eights, air squats, swings, reverse lunges, thrusters, 10, 20, 30, 20, 10 reps of all of it. Okay, get through it as fast as you can. I'll stop us in plenty of time, so if we're lagging behind a little bit, we're going to run out of time, we'll just stop when we need to. If we get through it and we've got loads of time left, I might give you something else to do. We'll see. Okay, does that make sense? Pretty straightforward. Okay, so it's figure eights first, 10 reps. I feel like it's gone really dark all of a sudden. Okay, you ready? So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So it's round the back, catch it up at your chest. Again, go at your own pace. Just try and get through it as quick as you can. So just make sure you're counting. So if you try and squat down as much as you can, you'll tend to lean over to the side a little bit as well. Then once you've done your 10 reps, you can put your kettlebell down, and then you're going into 10 just bodyweight squats. And then once you've done your 10 squats, grab your kettlebell, you're going to do 10 swings. Get nice and snappy, driving the hips forward. And then once you've done your 10 swings, you've got 10 of your reverse lunges. So then just make sure you step back and out to the side a little bit so you're not crossing your legs over. And then once you've done your lunges, grab your kettlebell again. You're finishing the round with 10 thrusters, so it's a squat. Shoot that kettlebell up overhead. So just make sure you let the arms up and think about getting your biceps right next to your ears. Then once you've done your 10, that's one round down. So you go back to the figure eights, but you're doing 20 reps. So when you're ready, just go straight back into the figure eights. So again, try and squat down a little bit. And the quicker you stand up out the squat, less you got to do with your arms. And just make sure you have a little pause at the top when you count it. Once you've done your 20 bodyweight squats. So again, just make sure you keep your feet flat on the floor. If you need to go a little bit wider, with your feet just go a little bit wider. Oh, my knee keeps clicking. And then once you've done your squats, you're back onto swings. So it'll be 20 swings. So you're nice and snappy, driving those hips forward. And relax your arms and shoulders off. Whew. And then once you've done those swings, you've got your lunges. So again, just make sure when you step back, you're not crossing those feet over. Oop. Try and stay as upright as you can with your torso. And then once you've done your lunges, oh, you've got the horrible thrusters. So you've got 20 thrusters. So guys, make sure you lock those arms up. Try and get your ears, bring your head through, get your ears right next to your biceps. And once you've done those thrusters, you're onto the peak of that pyramid. So you got 30 reps of your figure eights. So again, if you hold on to the corner, it makes it easier when you're passing that kettlebell through. It's going all the way around the back of the opposite leg that you're holding on with. And just watch those knees. So once you've done your 30 figure eights, you've got 30 squats. And once you've done your 30 squats, 30 swings, and the swings will be like a rest. It's going nice and quick. Driving the hips through. Try and relax the shoulders and the upper body half. And if you squeeze your glutes together as you drive through, it'll just take any little bit of pressure off your back. And once you've done your swings, you're onto those reverse lunges. If you wanted to make it a little bit harder, not that you would, you could always turn these into jumping lunges if you wanted. Don't think I'd recommend it though. And once you've done the lunges, I really don't want to do these 30 thrusters when you get to it. So you might need to, on these thrusters, break it down. So you could just do it. Sets of 10 for a couple of sets of 15. Oh. I don't know, you lot are powering through this. Oh, 10 more. So once you got through the 30 thrusters to the top of your pyramid, so you're back down to 20 reps. Oh. So if you've got any water, just keep on top. Just take a little bit of water. So when you're ready, back, figure eights for 20. So again, try and stand up as quick as you can. It'll just help you get that kettlebell up to the chest. And once you've done the 20 figure eights, 20 squats. And once you've done your 20 squats, back onto the swings. So again, nice and snappy, driving those hips through. Squeeze the glutes in. Once you've done your 20, back onto the lunges. So again, big step back, out to the side a little bit. And then once you've done the 20, 20 thrusters. So again, on the thrusters, try and get nice and low on the squat. The quicker you stand up, less your shoulders have got to do. Again, if you need to break it up to get through it, break it up. And once you've done your 20, oh, you just got one round left. 10 reps of everything. So that last round, 10 reps. So after those figure eights, back onto the squats. Then once you've done the squats, last lot of swings. And then once you've done those swings, last lot of lunges. So again, when you step back, you just step out to the side a little bit. Try and stay nice and upright with your torso. Once you've done your 10, last lot, last exercise. 10 thrusters to finish. All done. Has everyone finished? Looks like it. Perfect. So we're on. Oh, you're lucky I won't give you anything else to do. We'll just stretch out before we run out of time. So if you've got some water, take a little bit of water on. If you need to wipe yourself down a bit, wipe yourself down. And then when you're ready, put your butt on the floor. So if you grab a seat on your mat, yeah, that's right. So try not to grab your toes, but all the way through, try and pull your toes back into your face or into your head. Grab the bottom of your heels, and then keep your chest on your thighs, and then just walk your feet out. So think about you might be really upright if you're really tight. Bend your legs and try and work your forearms down. So think about getting your forearms down rather than straightening your legs up. And then if you can get your forearms down, then try and straighten your legs up. So I've still got, look how tight that hamstring is. I've still got a little bit of a bend in my legs, even with my forearms down. And then just keep trying to pull those toes back. Just don't grab them and pull them. And slowly come out of that. I feel like I'm steaming. Leave your left leg in front. If you've got any issues with your knees, just bring your foot on the inside of your leg. But if you can, bring it around the back. So go into your hurdle stretch. So you're trying to get, I'm a little bit tight today, but you're trying to get to 90 degrees with your legs. Again, you want to bend, left leg's in front, bend the left leg at the knee. Shift your chest over your thigh or the rib cage over your thigh. Again, before you try and straighten your leg up, you just try and get your forearms down first. And then once you've got your forearms down, your chest is probably going to be on your thighs. And then you can try and straighten that leg up. But again, keep flexing that foot. Keep trying to pull that foot back towards you. So the second you put those toes back, you should get it right up the calf, right into your hamstring. And then if you slowly come out of that, bring that leg, or the right leg, out to the side. So go into your straddle or your pancake. Clash your hands together, start with one leg, and then just bow yourself across the other leg. And keep going backwards and forwards. Just try and reach a little bit further with each little bounce. So you're going to get at hamstrings again, and then the adductors, so inside your legs. And then if you bring your feet back together, and then this time left leg is going to come around the back, or in front if your knees are bad. Bend the leg at the knee again, your right leg. Forearms down, so you're getting that chest on your thigh. And then from there, try and straighten the leg up. Again, just point those toes back. So again, you should get it right up the calf, right into your hamstring. Then if you slowly come out of that, leave your right leg in front. Pop yourself into a lunge. So just create the box with your calf and your thigh. So right leg in front, lift your left foot up. And if you can grab your left foot, pull it into your heel. If you're not feeling anything on your quad, like a stretch on your quad, just let your hips drop forward, but try not to just lean forward at the waist. Keep that straight line from your knee all the way through your hip, all the way up to your shoulders. And then just drop the hips forward. And then slowly come out of that one, switch your legs around. If you can't grab your foot, if you're really, really tight, just go a little bit wider with your legs, and then you can sink your hips a little bit into it, and you should get a stretch. Or if you've got a little towel there, or like a strap like you use in yoga, you can wrap that around your foot and then pull that in. If you can't do this, you probably need to start doing more stretches or start going to yoga. You would have thought I'd ever recommend people going to yoga. It's all that about. And then slowly come out of that. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Leave your bum stuck up in the air. Big stretch out the arms. And then just try and sink your chest down as low as you can. So you're going to get a stretch right down the back in between your shoulder blades. And the last one, if you just bring your toes together, pop your knees out to the side, sit your hips back, and then you can just relax your arms in front, let your head drop down. Just kind of loosen up any tightness you've got in your back, in your lower back. If you want to get a little bit more of a stretch, all down the sides of your back, stretch your arms out, and then just walk your hands across to one side. Leave your hips still, and just walk across with your hands as far as you can. And you should get a big stretch all the way from kind of like your armpit all the way down the side. If you do that, just make sure you walk over and do the other side as well. That's it, guys. All done. Another one survived. Oh.